And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the capital city here in Montpelier, Vermont. This is the ORCA presentation of the 3rd of July parade right here in downtown Montpelier. My name is Brent Curtis, and I'll be working with Carl Parton today as we talk about this grand parade that really marks the beginning of summer, don't you think, Carl?
Well, I think so, and certainly it's so wonderful to be here in Montpelier, and the weather is cooperating with us. We had a big scare earlier in the day, but it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day for the parade.
It does, and you know, there are a lot of really great things going on. In particular, the construction that's been going on State Street. They had to put an inch and a half of asphalt down just to open up the street for the parade, and that happened right on time last Friday, and it is just very exciting here. What you're hearing in the background are the Montpelier Mile Runners. Now, Carl, you're not in it this year.
No, nobody dragged me or forced me, so I'm glad to be here with you instead, Brent. But I see a lot of U32 Montpelier runners out there that competed in the high school teams this season, a couple that are moving on to college and have college careers in track and field and distance running. So exciting to see them be able to show their skills in front of a huge crowd today.
Absolutely exceptional. You know, there's no better way to describe this parade than is written up by Montpelier Alive. It goes like this: welcome to the Montpelier 2025 July 3rd parade. This year's theme is Together We Shine. This celebrates unity, the spirit of unity, resilience, and defines Montpelier. Very much like the newly illuminated bridges that connect our city, this parade brings together neighbors, artists, families, community groups from all walks of life, each a vital light in their own constellation of this shared home of Montpelier. As much as we dance and cheer our way through the downtown, we honor the connection that carries us forward and the collective strength that allows us to shine brighter together. Carl, there's no better way to describe this.
It's well written indeed, and very positive, and that's certainly what we're looking forward to in this parade today.
I absolutely agree with you. Well, right now, you know, we don't only have runners, we have joggers and we have walkers of all ages, I might add, and everybody here is doing it with a smile on their face. This one particular night here in Montpelier, it turns into a carnival, and that's exactly what we have here.
And you know what I love seeing right now? I love seeing generations of runners out there. You know, parents, children's, grandparents, grandchildren, and this is becoming a bit of a family tradition where I think these folks will probably be running in this parade together for years to come.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you. And you know, it kind of reflects the way that Vermont tourism has advertised our state, and that is exercise, being outside, enjoying the beautiful green mountains. And that's what we have here, as you mentioned, of all ages. A lady pushing a carriage with her little one inside the carriage. It's all about enjoying Vermont the way we know it.
Well, these runners are really pushing the pace. Brent, you mentioned that in previous years it was 90 degrees. It was super hot here. It's a kind of a cool evening right now, so a great temperature for these fast runners to really show their stuff.
Boy, good point, Carl. It has been blistering hot the last few years. Today was absolutely perfect. The sky, well, it was a little gray earlier on. We had some warnings, and contrary to WPTZ, there was never a delay here. The parade is on time, which we always appreciate, and get a look at all the people we have here in the parade. And it is a beautiful day. There's a light breeze here. People are able to enjoy it, and especially some of the littlest ones.
You know what? They're going to be inspired for careers in cross country and track just for getting cheered on here as 3-4-year-olds. They're going to feel the magic of athletic success.
Oh, I have to agree completely with you. It's great, and as you said, for all ages, and of course you hear the crowd in the background cheering on the runners, and some of them very serious, very serious. Others just want to get through it. And the idea is to go out for a mile jog in downtown Montpelier. And as I mentioned before, Montpelier has really had a tough first part of the summer simply because of the construction there on State Street. And now it's like a breath of fresh air as people walk up and down the street and enjoying the various activities going on down at the State House. And of course, for this run, they get a chance to try out the new pavement.
Montpelier resilient too, after all the troubles they've had the last couple of years with the flooding, for just to bounce back like this and really put on a show and bring the community together.
And I can't say enough about Montpelier Alive. I can't. What a Herculean effort on their part. The city is alive, it's happening, and this event, which normally draws about 20,000 people, it is a major event in Vermont and of course here in Washington County, but it is just a testament to how hard the city and Montpelier Alive and all the organizations, the sponsors, work just to kind of say the bad part's behind us, let's look forward. And it's that forward-looking attitude that's really bringing the city out of those terrible tough times with the flood.
I'm amazed at how many of these runners have smiles on their face, Brent. I don't think after 3/4 of a mile I'd still be smiling.
I guess I have to agree with you on that, Carl. I would be walking though, so I might smile as you slowed down. Looking both sides of the street here on Main Street, the crowd fills the area. People started coming out about an hour and a half early today, setting up their chairs. And you're just getting a piece of it right here at the intersection of Langdon Street and Montpelier, and then just beyond the intersection of State Street and the construction we were talking about. And hats off certainly to all the folks in Montpelier who made sure that that construction ended at the right time. Carl, I want to take a minute and I want to talk about Orca Media. They are such a member of the community. They're part of the fabric of this community, and you'll find them in Public Channel 1075, Education Channel 1095, and then Government Channel 1085. The parade is, of course, live on Comcast 1075. And and don't forget the Orca Media website, orcamedia, one word, .net. The communities that Orca serves are Berlin, Bethel, Braintree, Calais, Duxbury, East Montpelier, Middlesex, Montpelier, Moortown, Randolph, Rochester, Waterbury, and Worcester. Holy cow.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about Orca Media, it is community television. So they also allow folks, anybody to come in, they'll train them on their equipment. You can make a studio show there. You can go cover something in the community. And that's where actually CVTsport.net got our start. Kenrick Kite back in the early 90s trained me in a lot of video editing and video equipment and sports coverage. So I owe Orca Media a ton for CVTsport.net and our sports coverage. But it's amazing. You can go in and they have a beautiful studio you can go in and work in, and interviews. It's just a great service. They also cover community board meetings, which really allows people who are way too busy to go to every meeting to still participate and be informed. So what a community gem Orca Media is.
I totally agree, and I've got to go back to my days as public outreach coordinator for the Agency of Transportation. I had a program here, and it was widely accepted throughout Washington County. It was just a wonderful opportunity to interview people who were involved in transportation and to talk about the various projects going on, because we have such a short window for road construction in Vermont. You have to have the right temperature, you've got to be able to get equipment in and out, and certainly the colder months, things just have to shut down. So Orca Media was they were a key element in our public outreach for the Agency of Transportation.
And if you have an event that you're interested in having covered, Orca Media will provide video and audio coverage. You just have to let them know, fill out a request event coverage form at orcamedia.net.
Yeah,
not slowing down, and this is the second half of that mile.
He is just moving it hard. So we're just about to wrap up the Montpelier Mile, and after the Montpelier Mile, we'll have the beginning of the parade. But again, we have a number of people still kind of walking and jogging. The parade will start just past the roundabout on the Main Street, and we'll come down Main Street and take a right-hand turn onto State and go right down to the state capitol and in the area of the Agriculture Building and Department of Motor Vehicle. Oh, and by the way, if you're hearing this, don't forget to grab your camera and the kids for that big cow on the lawn of the Agriculture Building. Hats off to Ensign Tebbets, our Secretary of Agriculture. That cow draws so many people. I've been down on a weekend when there are a number of people visiting Montpelier, and there's a line to get the picture taken with the cow. So we got a little lull in the action here, and we invite you, by the way, to go to the Montpelier Alive website, and they can give you an entire list of what's happening in the area, sponsored events, and it is, again, part of the Vermont Tourism Network, and so you can actually plan your vacation by taking a look at the events in central Vermont and then around the state and plug them all together. You know, Carl, your family, you do that a lot. You've done a number of events with the family.
Yeah, a lot of staycations. We'll call them, you know. Yeah. Certainly the Elmore State Park was wonderful. Elmore is a beautiful location to boat, canoe, kayak, and bike, hike. Certainly wonderful things to do. All right, we do have a guest.
We have a guest coming in right now. As soon as Larry gets seated here, every year we do an interview with Lawrence Saylor. I call him Larry. Larry, hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me on today's show.
Well, it's good to have you. Give us an idea about your involvement with Orca, if you will.
Yes, my name is Lawrence Seiler, and my wife Arlene and I produce several shows through as community producers through Orca Media. One is called Able Then On Air. The other one is called Able to Cook, and then the other one is called Gridiron Sports Talk. And all of those shows deal with people with special needs in different facets. Able Then On Air is an interview show, and we focus on abilities, everything from autism to cerebral palsy, different types of interviews. Able to Cook is a cooking history show that deals with cooking and people with special needs and many abilities in the kitchen. And then the other one is Gridiron Sports Talk, which started in 2022, which is a sports show for people with special needs. And Orca Media has been very wonderful since 2015. I myself am a journalist for 33 years, both in New York and now Vermont. But Orca Media gives those who don't have a voice a chance to be on air and making the impossible possible when it comes to media.
Larry, how easy is it to put a show on Orca? How easy is it to?
Very easy. Orca Media has also taught me how to edit. It's basically you go with an idea, you become executive producer. Orca Media, it's free services for anyone, disabled or not, that want to come and produce a show. Everything is completely free when it comes to getting equipment out. I mean, I also have my own equipment, but when you want to have your own, take a camera out and shoot, it's just so easy. And you just have to have an idea, when it comes to producing a show. And Orca Media is great.
And Larry, that's just so important because, the two important elements that you've mentioned are, number one, it's free, and number two, it's really easy, and they'll give you the direction. Isn't that about right?
Yeah, they'll give you the directions. They'll tell you how to do things, and then it's basically baptism by fire. Here's well, pretty much that's what happened to me years ago when I was working in the Bronx at another public access television station called BronxNet through Lehman College. Basically, here's a camera, here's a microphone, go get me a story and put it on air. That's the way, because I started out in news. And that's basically baptism by fire in terms of what you want to do and what you want to produce. And you just have to follow some rules with each public access station. And when it comes to like 28 minutes for a half an hour show, 45 to 50 minutes for an hour show, and then you're good to go.
Larry, thank you so very much for being with us today. I look forward to chatting with you every year. Good luck in your programs, and I'll be watching.
Okay, and Ableton on Air can also be found at orcamedia.net. And thank you very much for having me on the show today.
My pleasure. All right, we're getting back to the parade right now. And again, we can just about see the city fire trucks and police vehicles. Now, if you'll turn the hands of time back when you were a child, there's nothing like seeing those bright and shiny fire trucks as well as the police cars. The lights have gotten better over the years, but the level of excitement is already picking up, can't you tell?
Oh, absolutely. This makes me think back to my childhood, and I was at a small town parade, Plainfield, but when the fire trucks came, you knew the candy was coming soon, which was my favorite, and probably every small child's favorite. But yeah, the 4th of July was always one of my favorite holidays by far. The celebration of back then of patriotism and the good about America, and it really inspired you to be proud of your community, of your state, and of your country.
Oh, let me just, that is perfect. Elaborate on that. It is a time to be proud. This is America's 250th birthday, and it is a time to be thankful and to be proud of not only your community and your city, but of your country. And so we're getting a little bit of thunderclap in the background.
I was hoping that was a firework.
I was hoping so as well.
That was loud.
It just happened in the blink of an eye here, so we're going to hopefully get some of the parade in. And again, remember, safety is always the primary issue here. But we want to be able to see these beautiful lights coming down the street. The Montpelier Police Department, the fire department. You never can thank them enough. And we always look forward to seeing them leading the parade. So,
I think in the hardships Montpelier faced is when our public servants really shine, Brent. And in the flooding that happened here in Montpelier the last couple of years, the police, the fire department, they don't get to just stay home and take care of their own business. They're there for the whole community and putting in 20-hour days in those situations, keeping everybody safe. So
right.
I think a lot of people have a lot to be thankful for to our both police and fire departments here in the Montpelier and surrounding areas.
And leading it all up, here's the Montpelier Police Department, the Montpelier Fire Department. They will be the first part of the parade. That's Gary Butler in his 1930 Ford Model A Roadster.
And the second car here is a 1930 Ford Model A driven by Gary Butler. And he thanks for letting him participate in this wonderful parade and bids everyone happy 4th of July.
Oh boy, here comes everybody's favorite. Listen to this crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Bernie Sanders.
Montpelier loves Bernie.
Welcome to Montpelier, Bernie Sanders. You see people standing up, getting out of their chair. He is a big, big favorite. And coming up next is one of my favorite things. You can hear the bagpipes in the background. This is the Catamount Pipe Band. It's been based in central Vermont for over 25 years. Cheer them on, if you will, as they prepare to compete in the World Pipe Band Championships in Scotland, and that's coming up next month. Ladies and gentlemen, give a listen to the Catamount Pipe Band from Vermont.
Love this, Brent. Everybody is Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Everybody is Mexican on Cinco de Mayo. And when the pipe band goes by, everybody is a Scot.
Absolutely. Just coming into view in the camera right now.
Following closely behind the pipe band is the Montpelier City Council, elected every year on town meeting day. The members of the City Council give tirelessly of their time and effort to ensure that the city government will meet the needs of all Montpelier residents. Come down to watch them in action or talk about your concerns the second and fourth Wednesday of every month.
And coming right up behind them, the League of Women Voters, and they want to remind everybody that democracy is not a spectator sport. Register to vote. It's your superpower. Ladies and gentlemen, the League of Women Voters.
Following closely behind them is the Capital Advocates Together, a local group of Green Mountain self-advocates. They stand up for disability rights group, and together they shine because they contribute to our society. They give back to their communities, they work, they're hard workers, they speak up for themselves and others. They speak up for the rights of people with disabilities. We all belong.
And a very important part of the fabric of this community, without a doubt. Coming up next, everybody, you can hear the rhythms behind us. Sheeta Projects, Inc. It's a Vermont-based 501c3 nonprofit organization focused on cultural education and diversity. They do it through sharing West African dances, drumming, and other activities. They do it in two ways. First, by conducting the workshop and the residencies in schools, and second, by dance drumming performances in the community spaces. Their mission to promote cultural diversity and inclusivity through the use of West African culture, educational activities, and a focus on students. Ladies and gentlemen, Sheeta Projects.
Following them, Aeromed Essentials, in coordination with Just Basics, give 3 giant pink piggy banks in town called Mama, Maisie, and Mary Jane. Our beloved pigs are hungry for your donations. All donations go to Just Basics Food Pantry. Our hungry piggies can be found grazing in front of Abishon, Bear Pond Books, and on the Rialto Bridge. These unique additions to our downtown were created by metal artist and owner of Bent Nails, Aaron Scotty.
And coming up next, what do we have? We've got the Lions, of course, the Vermont Asian American Club, branch of the Barrie Lions Club, District 45. The Lions are the people like you and me living in communities around the world. Lions are people who answer the call to service, who give time, they enjoy working with others, and they serve where there's a need. The Lions.
St. Means, oh, well.
Go ahead, my friend.
All right, looks like St. Means Sit, a local dog training business dedicated to building strong, lasting bonds between dogs and their owners with expertly trained pups by their side. St. Means Sit demonstrates how teamwork and trust creates harmony between humans and their canine companions. Our Entirely Perfect reflects this year's theme, Together We Stand. Showcasing unity through training and mutual respect, keep an eye out for some amazing obedience demonstrations and lots of wagging tails. And along after them was the Worcester Fire Department.
Thanks to the Worcester Fire Department. The Emperor has no clothes. It's helpful to remember and to laugh the idea that the Emperor has no clothes and what that means. Carolyn Shapiro.
The next group coming across is, we talked about staycations. You can thank this group for making Vermont a better place for those staycations. It's the Montpelier section of the Green Mountain Club, celebrating the 70th anniversary of its creation back in 1955. They have a 25-foot long banner depicting the mountains along the Long Trail, which runs the length of Vermont for 273 miles from Massachusetts to Canada. This banner was created 20 years ago in 2005 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Montpelier section of the GMC. It was used in the July 3rd parade in that year.
You know, we got a little break in the parade here as people are catching up. Again, the sky's starting to turn a little dark here, but I do want to remind you that you are watching the ORCA presentation of the Montpelier July 3rd Festival, the parade. We're in downtown Montpelier. Carl Parton and myself, Brent Curtis. It's just a privilege to host this particular event. And the one great thing about ORCA is you'll get to see it more than once. You'll get an opportunity to see this, and that's true with all of ORCA presentations. You'll catch them on the various channels. And let me remind you that Comcast channels 1075, 1085, and 1095 is where you'll find ORCA Media, and of course orcamedia.net, public channel 1075, educational channel 1095, and then the government channel 1085.
We also have a YouTube channel, I believe, too, so you can find them anywhere.
So keep that in mind when it's time to maybe give a little of your own support. And again, here is Carolyn Shapiro. And again, you know, you don't have to have a fancy float. You have to have a statement. It has to be polite. And Carolyn does a wonderful job as she meandered down the roadway here today. I think if I were the parade commander, I'd be telling people to pick up the pace a little bit.
Right, the next group is a hockey team. They should be a little faster, Brent.
And that is such a big part of this the community. Carl, you do a lot of their games. Talk for a minute, if you will, about the facility, etc.
Oh yeah, Central Vermont Memorial Civic Center is where the U32 and the Montpelier combined teams play their sports, and of course the BOR and Barrie, where the Spalding team plays. But so wonderful, great facilities, and both hockey programs have such a great tradition. They've combined into the Black Bear team, and both Northfield, Montpelier, U32, and Spalding have youth programs together, and that works out very well for those programs. And
passing through are sailors from the USS Montpelier. They always send representatives. So welcome to the members of the USS Montpelier. We are again kind of waiting here, and that's what makes this fun. We'll get another view of some of the sailors that have come all the way to Montpelier. And I don't know where the ship is docked right now, but they send someone every year, and it's wonderful to see them here, and they need to know how proud we are of them. I don't know how you keep those uniforms clean. I don't.
So we're just getting word now from our producers that the Thunder may have canceled the remainder of the parade.
Ah, so is that official, or are we going? It is. So it's now official, ladies and gentlemen. We're so sorry, and kind of wrapping up the parade today will be the officers from the USS Montpelier. And once again, as I mentioned earlier, the clouds have set in. The thunder and potential lightning are going to cut the parade short. So we're going to end our broadcast today. From all of us here at ORCA, we want to thank you very much. God bless America. Happy birthday, America. And from all of us at ORCA, have a safe holiday. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you, Brent.